Over the course of more than 13 years, the Incredible Dr. Pol brought veterinary care to life, highlighting Dr. Jampol's commitment to animals and his family's support in rural Michigan. Despite this, the show was not without its challenges, as it was subjected to scrutiny over legal battles, arguments regarding ethical veterinary practices, and continuous criticism of some methods that were highlighted in the show. Fans were left heartbroken and searching for answers after the show ended in 2024, after 24 seasons, despite the fact that it had been extremely popular and had lasted for a very long time. Please come along with us as we reveal the true reason why The Incredible Dr. Pol came to an end. Since it was first shown in 2011, The Incredible Dr. Pol has garnered a place in the hearts of viewers, becoming a cultural phenomenon and a touchstone for people all across the world who are passionate about animals. The show, which took place in a rural area of Michigan, followed Dr. Jampol and his colleagues as they navigated the difficult and frequently unpredictable field of veterinary practice. It provided an in-depth insight into a profession that calls for technical expertise, compassion, and empathy, together with tenacity. Unlike the majority of reality shows that are polished, the unfiltered realities of veterinary medicine were something that Dr. Pol was not afraid to face, whether it was pulling calves during tough births or treating pets with terrible injuries. There was no attempt made by the show to avoid discussing the dirty and emotional sides of the subject matter. Because of his straightforwardness, Dr. Pol was able to connect with a diverse audience, particularly those who were interested in agriculture or working in rural communities. Furthermore, it is indisputable that the series had a significant educational value. Each episode spotlighted actual difficulties faced by veterinarians in the field, encouraging viewers to learn about the health and well-being of animals. The program was highly regarded by families all around the world because of its capacity to entertain while simultaneously imparting knowledge about the correct care of animals and pets. After 24 seasons, The Incredible Dr. Pol evolved into something more than just a television show. It served as a reliable source of information and motivation for individuals who were interested in animals and aspired to become veterinarians. In spite of its lengthy run, the series managed to maintain its sense of novelty by presenting new cases and members of the team, seeing to it that viewers remained interested. Dr. Pol's cheery manner and dedication to animal care, in conjunction with the dynamics of his family and staff, generated a gripping narrative that was distinct from the normal reality television format. During the closing years of The Incredible Dr. Pol, the Pol family began exploring new paths of storytelling, most notably through spin-offs such as The Incredible Pol Farms, which made its debut in January of 2024. This series was a change from the conventional format of the original show, which was centered on the clinic, putting more of an emphasis on Dr. Pol's son Charles and his family as they labored to develop 350 acres of undeveloped land into a farm that could really produce food. In contrast to the initial series, which focused on the veterinary clinic, the decision to start a spin-off was most likely driven by the family's desire to broaden the scope of their on-screen narrative. Agriculture was one of the aspects of rural life that the Pols were able to demonstrate through their incredible Pol farm. Land clearing, agricultural and livestock management, and other related tasks. As a result of seeing the new series, viewers had a deeper comprehension of the difficulties and benefits associated with living a sustainable lifestyle. As a result of the success of the spin-off, it appeared as though the police department was looking ahead to the future and giving new projects more importance than maintaining the long-running series. When the channel made the announcement that The Incredible Dr. Pol will be canceled after its 24th season, it came as a surprise to millions of viewers. The cherished series came to an end on July 6, 2024, when the final episode was broadcast, marking the completion of the series. There will be no more episodes of The Incredible Doctor. It is impossible to comprehend Pol without taking into account bigger alterations in the preferences of viewers and the behavior of the entertainment business. The reality television industry has undergone a significant transformation over the course of the last 10 years, mostly as a result of the proliferation of streaming platforms and the growing need for original programming. Not even highly successful television programs like The Incredible Dr. Pol are exempt from these kinds of pressures. In recent years, streaming giants such as Netflix and Disney have been providing a multitude of wildlife and documentary programming, which has resulted in increased competition for networks such as Nat Geo Wild. Traditional cable shows are able to maintain their popularity by utilizing these platforms because they cater to a wide variety of people with their own distinctive programming. As a consequence of this, networks frequently give priority to more recent and trendy projects that are in line with the preferences of the present audience, even if this calls for the cancellation of well-liked programs. In addition, the competition in the field of veterinary reality television has gotten more intense. Different points of view are presented in programs such as Dr. Jeff, Rocky Mountain Vet, and Dr. Oakley, Yukon Vet on television. There is a possibility that some viewers will depart from Dr. Pol here. It is possible that the series' duration made it more difficult to attract new audiences in a market that was already saturated, despite the fact that it continued to be successful. When Nat Geo Wild decided to cancel The Incredible Dr. Pol, it was most likely with the intention of reallocating resources to programming that would be better able to compete in this continuously changing climate. In spite of the fact that the show was incredibly well-liked, it was not devoid of its share of controversy situations. What is considered to be one of the most major debates is The Incredible Doctor. As a result of allegations of professional negligence, the Michigan Board of Veterinary Medicine took disciplinary action against the individual that was involved in the case. Dr. Pol was found to be in violation of several veterinary regulations in 2014, which resulted in him being subject to penalties such as a fine of $500 and probation. The incident in question involves a surgical procedure on a Boston Terrier, during which Dr. Pol was condemned for not wearing the appropriate surgical attire and for not giving adequate monitoring of the anesthesia to the patient. Due to the decision made by the board, the ethical and professional standards of veterinary practice that were displayed on the show were brought to the forefront of attention. These kinds of situations, according to critics, have the potential to mislead viewers about the most effective procedures in veterinary treatment. Supporters of Dr. Pol, on the other hand, said that his methods, albeit being unconventional, were effective and practical for the rural setting in which he worked. The disciplinary proceeding was overturned by the Michigan Court of Appeals in 2015. The court found no evidence that Dr. Pol had broken the standard of care, and it cited the fact that the pet's owners were pleased with the outcome. Despite the fact that many people found Dr. Pol's approach appealing due to its straightforward manner, it also prompted inquiries on the ways in which reality television could potentially impact the public's perspective of ethical and medical standards. There is also a recurrent dispute that concerns complaints made by viewers and critics concerning the treatment of animals on the show. According to the claims of several individuals, particular episodes presented situations in which animals were treated in a manner that appeared to be hurried or inadequate. Some individuals, for instance, have brought up instances in which operations appear to lack adequate diagnostic testing or follow-up care, indicating that these activities could potentially put the safety of animals at risk. There have been instances in which animal rights advocates have voiced their disapproval of the program, stating that it prioritizes convenience above thoroughness. They have said that representations of animals in such a manner could legitimize the use of minimalist approaches to animal welfare. Those who defended the show, on the other hand, underlined that Dr. Pol's therapies were adapted to meet the requirements of rural patients, the majority of whom did not have access to expensive or expert medical treatment. It was vital for them to have Dr. Pol's ideas, which were both resource-conscious and practical, in order to guarantee that animals received any therapy at all. One more thing that might have played a role in the sudden conclusion of the Incredible Dr. Pol is the difficulties that were encountered throughout production. The production of a reality series such as The Incredible Dr. Pol has a number of important problems, including the coordination of schedules and the logistics behind filming on location. These expectations are likely to have taken their toll on the production staff and cast, particularly on Dr. Pol himself, after more than 24 seasons since the show's premiere, who has completed 82 years of age. Important considerations to take into account are Dr. Pol's age as well as the physically demanding nature of veterinary job. In spite of the fact that he continues to be enthusiastic and dedicated to the care of animals, it is possible that the demands of filming, in conjunction with his day-to-day obligations at the clinic, have grown increasingly difficult for him to manage. After the series was canceled, Dr. Pol was able to concentrate on his health and well-being while continuing to contribute to the new endeavors that his family was pursuing. In spite of these challenges, Dr. Pol's legacy has not been significantly altered. An indelible mark has been left by his innovative approach to veterinary treatment, as well as his unwavering commitment to educating the general public about the importance of animal welfare. Through his decision to take a step back from the main series, he assures that his contributions to the profession will be recognized not just for their success but also for their genuineness. When it was announced that the great Dr. Pol would no longer be airing, the show's devoted audience responded with an outpouring of sympathy and sorrow. In an effort to rescue the show, viewers resorted to social media, where they created petitions and hashtags to express their support. Quite a few viewers expressed their satisfaction with the show, such as the fact that it featured educational content, entertaining content, and stories that were emotionally moving, highlighting its function as a program that was suitable for families and inspired generations. Many people felt that the show was more than just a television program. A source of solace, motivation, and education, it was a source of all three. There is now a gap in the veterinary reality television genre as a result of its discontinuation. Nevertheless, the Pol family has assured its followers that their story is not even close to being finished. They are continuing to share their story with the world by means of spin-offs, digital content, and ongoing involvement with the community. For the purpose of ensuring that the spirit of the series continues to live on, Dr. Pol's heartfelt farewell placed an emphasis on appreciation and positivity. The show's influence on veterinary education and rural storytelling continues to be unsurpassed, which ensures that it will have a permanent place in the annals of television history. Fans have the peace of mind that comes from knowing that the Pol family's dedication to animals and stories is still going strong, although in new and fascinating forms.